Testing, testing. Hey, what's happening, everyone? What's going on? I'm trying to get my Instagram going too. I'm trying to get a double whammy going here. I think we're good. I think we got it. Let me see. Yeah, I think I got everyone on. What's happening? What's happening, everyone? How's it going, guys? Happy Thursday. Happy Thursday to you all. Hope you guys are having a great Thursday so far, and welcome to day 4 out of 5 of the challenge. The challenge is all on why runners hesitate to start a running program. Why people hesitate from going from walking to running. So day 4. Here, 1 second. There we go. Day 4, we're gonna talk about the importance of having a plan. Like, do you have a plan do you have a plan? Or do you have a plan in your life? Do you have a plan for running? This is so vital. This is just so important to have a plan. Hey, Angel, thanks for coming on. Thanks so much for sharing your story again, Angel. That was just beautiful. There, we got a little more lighting. Yeah, Angel, is so beautiful. Thanks for sharing that. But we have to have a plan. We have to have a plan with our running. We can't just, this is not just any activity. We can't just go into it and be like, oh, I'm gonna run today, or I feel like running, or whatnot. You have to. It's so important to have a plan. To actually write something out. Prior to the week, even like a month plan. Maybe even like a 6-month or year plan. This is so vital. And I know a lot of people, what they'll do is sign up for a race. So sign up for your 5K, 10K, half marathon. Hey, by the way, Angel, can you hear me okay? I just want to make sure the sound is working. Sometimes this mic kind of flickers on and off. So just let me know if you can hear me okay. But yeah, we have to have a plan intact. That having that goal of the run, that's what's going to push us through those days or those weeks when we don't want to go anymore. There's going to be days that are tough, weeks that are tough, and we're going to be in the middle of the run and be like, why are we doing this again? What are we doing? Why are we going through all this pain? But it's so important to have a plan. So I want to encourage you guys to, start thinking about that 5K, that 10K, that half marathon, whatever is kind of floating in your brain. I want you guys to start thinking about, signing up for that. Sign up for that as soon as possible. And like I talked about yesterday, sign up with a partner, sign up with a group. Tackle this training, this race together. It shouldn't be done by yourself, because it's easier to quit if you do that. So start thinking about that, and then have a weekly plan. And when I say this, think about how many miles you want to hit this week. I always do the 10% increase rule. So say you first week you want to start at 5 miles, so you want to do 5 miles maybe twice a week. So you hit that 5 miles and increase by 10%. So then go up to, so that would be 5.5 miles, and then just keep increasing 10%. Of course, this doesn't go forever. Obviously, if you've been running for a year, I don't expect you to be at 100 miles, 150, 200 miles. So there's going to be a certain goal or certain mileage you want to get to that's comfortable and that you're happy with, depending on what race you're trying to do, what you're trying to accomplish, the goals. So many things are in play with this. So start thinking about that, like how 10% increase, or how much to increase by week. And then I always tell new runners, maybe go for 2 runs that week. Do 2 runs a week, and then increase from there. So maybe you want to start with 2, then you go to 3 a week, 4 a week, whatever it is. So I think that's a phenomenal starting point to hit that end goal week. And then also add your, I'll say this, so it's good to do 2 weeks so then you don't get overwhelmed with strength training, which I always recommend to do twice a week of strength training. You know, you can get away with one, but especially if you're starting out, you know, you want to do at least twice. You want to do 2 times a week. It's so crucial. This is just gonna be that's the ideal amount. You know, of course you can do more. You can do 3 or even 4 times a week. If you push to like 4 times though, 5 times, that's pushing to maybe a little too much, because you do want to make sure you're getting your recovery days. So I always say like between 2 and 3, sometimes 4 if you're not doing a long session. But 2 times a week's ideal, and then doing at least 20 to 40 minutes of strength training. That's perfect. That's perfect. You know, for running. Oh, okay, Angel, beautiful. Thanks for letting me know. So you can't hear me fine. Awesome, awesome. Thanks for coming on too. Thanks for coming on. Let me like that. There we go. So yeah, twice a week, and I say ideally like between, let's say 30 minutes of good strength training. And for running, you really want to hit your core, your legs, all your major leg muscles. You know, you want to get down to your ankle muscles. We call those intrinsic muscles. And then we want to, and that's going to be done through balance, stability, stuff like that. And then you want to do a lot of work with your calves, your shins, and then just up the chain, you know, hitting especially the hamstrings, the quads, the glutes, the side hip muscles, the core, hitting all these muscles hard. And tomorrow I'm gonna go over, on our day 5, I'm gonna go over some things you can start with, some different movements, exercises that are just great starting point for running. So you want to make sure you're hitting all these muscles consistently. And also with running, you know, since it's a very very demanding activity, and in activities, you know, on one foot, you know, it's not like a lot of things where we're using both feet. Like for example, jumping, you're jumping with both legs. Running, you're constantly just on one leg. So you want to do, when you're doing a strength training program for running, you want to do a lot of stuff that's single legs. So what that means is doing stuff like single leg heel raises, so getting the calves going, single leg bridges, doing single leg deadlifts, single leg squats. So start kind of thinking that in that way as well. Also side planks are just phenomenal for running, because you're hitting the obliques, the lateral or the side muscles, and then you're also just doing it all on one side. So that's a great exercise to start with as well. So I want you guys to start thinking that way too when you're getting your program going. And again, tomorrow I'll go over some movements that you guys can start with. But we really want to hit those single leg workouts, core all the way down to the ankles. So important. Hey, what's going on, Krista? Thanks for coming on, and thanks for that love. Thank you for that love. Happy Thursday. So those are some of the things I want you guys to start thinking about when you're putting your plan together. You know, we have to have a plan, a daily plan, a weekly plan, monthly plan, and then a yearly, or start planning those races. You know, this is true of life. It's not just running. You know, we have to have plans in life, like with our relationships, especially like our marriages, our family plans, work, business. You know, we have to have these plans intact, or you know, we're gonna fall out of the plan. Or you know, not having goals, we're gonna fall out of those goals. We won't be able to achieve those goals. What's happening, Joe? You know, so we have to start thinking plans and thinking ahead, plans, goals, so we can just keep progressing forward. Because there's gonna be so many days, I'm telling you guys, this is true in my own life, so many days, so many weeks, even months, where things are gonna be tough. But as long as we have that plan, that goal written down, it's another thing I would encourage you guys to do. Write these down and have them either on a wall or in a notebook that you can constantly look at, and just remind yourself when you're having a bad day, dealing with whatever it is, anxiety, depression, some stuff's going on with the family, whatever it is, like you have these goals or these reminders that, oh, that's why I was planning on running today, or oh, that's why I was planning on doing this or that. So yeah, just want to encourage you guys to make sure you have those written down, because that why is going to be so great that it's going to propel you. It's going to propel you to that next day, that next week, and just to keep pushing forward. There's just so many days and weeks that running is brutal, and especially when you're trying to progress. What's happening, Amber? Thanks for coming on. There's gonna be so many days, weeks that it's gonna be tough to go from like mile 5 to mile 6 or up to 7, 8, especially if you're training for like a half marathon. Getting to that 7, 8, 9, 10 mile mark is hard. It's very difficult, but having these goals, having this plan in place, knowing that you have this race in another month or 2 or whatever it is just gonna mentally keep driving you, keep pushing you, and just keep motivating you to push forward. Love the waves. So yeah, we have to keep pushing forward. And then like I talked about yesterday, like having that person, that partner, is going to help motivate you, help just pick you up when you're struggling. So that's major encouragement that I want you guys to start thinking about. And then here's another big thing I want to talk about is warm up. So making sure you have the proper warm up with your runs or walks or whatever the activity is. But with the runs, you have to make sure you warm up prior to the run, especially when you get into these higher mileage markers. So I always say like a 2 to 5 minute warm up is awesome before a run. So doing stuff like dynamic warm ups. So doing butt kicks. You can do kicks out in front, out to the side. Bringing your knees up towards your chest, stuff like that. And that's what's going to help start waking up these muscles. Going to start getting blood flow to that area to prepare for this high intensity activity that you're going to do. So maybe you go out, maybe you do it inside, just do laps in your hallway, or maybe you just start your warm up by walking outside, and then just do 20 to 30 steps back and forth, and just start waking up those muscles. And you're also waking up the mind. You're preparing your mind, your mentality to get prepared for this run, this 3 mile run, 5 mile run, 7 mile run, 8 mile run, whatever it is. You're mentally getting in the right mindset. So that's another major thing I would recommend. And if you guys have any questions on specific movements, comment below. I would love to share that with you guys. So yeah, that's another way of injury prevention, that you're going to prevent injury. You're going to stay pain-free with your runs, and you're just going to keep being able to move or take one step at a time and move forward on your goals. Another thing I've been talking about this through the week, but again, stretching will not cure your pain or your injury. I'm a fan of stretching. I'm a fan of doing stretching, especially on your recovery days. But again, it's not going to heal the root of the problem, whether it's knee pain, ankle pain, hip pain. So do your stretches, but don't rely on your stretches. That's what we say. Don't rely on them. Just like the foam roller. Don't rely on the foam roller. So many runners just want to hang out on that foam roller and be like, okay, I'm good. I'm ready to get back out there. But it's more than that. It's really this strength training, working your core, stuff like that. It's so vital. That goes to my next point. So having those recovery days, again, runners, you have to have your recovery days. You can't just expect to run every day and maybe do a run and strength train on the same day, or just run strength train. Your body needs rest. I can't preach or say that enough. Like we have to incorporate those those recovery days and during our weeks. So say, let me just say an example scenario. So Sunday, beginning of the week, Sunday, you decide to do a long run. So let's say you do 5 miles. Sunday you do 5 miles, and then on Monday you do a strength training, let's say strength, lower body strength core workout for 20 to 30 minutes. And then, so you get that in, no run on Monday. Then Tuesday, recovery. I think that's a perfect day to do a recovery. And again, when I say recovery, doesn't mean don't do anything. Don't just rest and just watch TV all day. But recovery day means this is when you can do stretching, maybe get your yoga in, meditation day. So do something, even walking, walking's low intensity. So that's a great activity for a recovery day. Even doing like a light swim, light bike ride, stuff like that. You're still moving, you're still getting activity, which I'm a big believer in doing something every day. I truly believe as humans, as just human beings, we're made to move, we're made to do activity and whatnot. And since we're in the 21st century and not in the olden days of the first century or 13th, 14th, 15th century, where we're working on farms and we had to do these activities all day. Since we don't have that anymore, we have to be very intentional of getting something in every day. So yeah, Tuesday would be a recovery day, and let's say Wednesday you run, you decide to do another run. Thursday you could do another strength training day. So let's say you do arms, which definitely still do your arms even though you're a runner. You need to work out your back, your shoulders. So maybe you do arms and then core. Maybe you do arms and legs, whatever it is. Just make sure you get 2 days a week of core and lower body. Even arms, actually. Arms, try to get twice a week. So starting from the feet up, lower body, try to get that twice a week. Core, which is midsection, abs, low back, try to get that twice a week. And then upper body, try to get twice a week. So that's a beautiful program to start with, or to not only start with, but just keep going with your running. That's going to help supplement your running. And you could even think about doing, if you're a swimmer, you could do a swim once or twice a week for your upper body, and that's really kind of full body workout. So that's some good resistance training. So that's something you could do, and that's non-weight bearing or non-loading of the joints. So that's a great way to just keep the body fit, but give your body a break from the demands of running. And what's up, Will? I appreciate that love. I saw that heart come up, so I appreciate that, brother. Thanks for coming on, man. So yeah, that's a great thing to do for your recovery days. So again, we talked about having a plan intact. So planning that next race, 5K, 10K, half marathon, whatever it is. Start thinking about that. Make sure you warm up before your runs. So if you're a new runner, do like 2 to 5 minutes of a warm up. What's happening, Russell? Good to see you, brother. So doing if you're a new runner, like 2 to 5 minutes of a nice warm up, dynamic stretching routine is solid. If you're more competitive runner, I'd say 5 to 10 minutes of a warm up is beautiful. So that's number 2. Number 3 is make sure you recover. You have those recovery days during your weeks. That 1 or 2 days of recovery days is golden. But again, on those recovery days, make sure you're still stretching, getting your yoga in, your meditation, your walk, whatever it is. Make sure you're still getting that in. Those recovery days are vital to keep you going, especially when you get to the higher mileage markers, 5, 6, 7, 8 miles. And then of course, when you get over 10, you have to have those recovery days. I know for competitive runners, when you're averaging, more of that 10 mile marker, and then just like a lot of miles per week, you actually have to recover like multiple days in a row, sometimes like a week of recovery. So start really training your mind to have these recovery days. I know I know all of us want to have the running endorphins, and there's nothing like running, right? But make sure you have those recovery days. So that's number 3, and then 4, just make sure you're having strength training in your routines, and at least twice a week of strengthening your lower body, your core, and your upper body is beautiful. So that was number 3. What was the other thing? That was number 3. What was 4? I was thinking of 4 will come to me. But yeah, these things are just vital. These things are vital for your plan with running. I remember 4 now. I remember 4. My pops. Shout out to Michael Hux. He's a physician assistant in Florida. But he asked me. So him and his wife Michelle, they were planning on doing their first half marathon in January, and they were all excited to do a run last night. I'm sure this has happened to a lot of you guys. So they're excited, preparing mentally for the run throughout the day. They're about to do it, and then it decides to rain. It decides to rain in Florida. Florida, this is very common. I know all over, especially spring, we're getting a lot of rain. So he was asking me, he's like, what do you do in this situation? And this is hard rain. Of course, Florida's hard rain, where it's kind of, you could run in, but it's pretty brutal. Some people do it, but a lot of people are not going to do it. So he's like, what do you do in that situation? So first thing came to mind is, this is a perfect time to do your strength workout, your at-home resistance workout. Whatever that is, maybe following something on YouTube, maybe following something in our group, because we'll be posting workouts in our group of anywhere between like 5-minute HIIT workouts all the way to like 30-minute workouts. So this would be a good time to get that in. Do your strength, do your resistance, or maybe you need a recovery day. That would be the plan B. Maybe you've been running or strength training many days in a row. It's like, okay, maybe the rain's talking to you, saying something to you. Hey, Michael, or hey, Michelle, or hey, Russell, or hey, Chris, or hey, Amber, hey, Joe, hey, Carissa, hey, Angel. Maybe it's saying this is a time to do a recovery day. So that could be the plan B. So that's what I was talking to him about yesterday. So that's point 4 I wanted to hit. So of this plan. So guys, it's so important to have a plan for injury prevention, for pain-free running, and just to get we don't want to even open the door of injury and rehab and all that stuff. So I hope this helps you guys. If you have any questions, post them below. Any feedback, I'd love to hear that. My whole purpose of this group is us just working together, collaboration. Of course, I'm going to bring my expertise to the group, but I want everyone to share thoughts and share their running journey, with the group, and tips. For example, we got Dr. Russell Levy in here. He's a physical therapist, so I can't wait to hear his input on running and everything. And I also want to give him a shout out. He's got a massive vision. I just can't wait for you guys to hear from him more, and just his impact he wants to make on the world with physical therapy and just life in general. He has big goals, so I just want to shout out to him, and much love to all you guys for coming on. And again, this is day 4 or 5 of why runners hesitate to start a running program, and then day 5 we're going to be talking a lot of specific things you can do. So specific exercises, specific stretches, and different things like that. So we'll be hitting that tomorrow. I know what came to mind. I just know it just came to, I'm going to hit this tomorrow, but I wanted to at least address it, because this is definitely it should be part of your plan. Nutrition. I want to at least open the door right now. Nutrition. With your plan, you got to make sure you're getting enough water in your system. Pre-runs, during the runs, post runs, throughout the day. So important to get enough water, and then also so important to I'm a big like plant-based diet guy. I don't label myself as vegetarian or vegan, but I eat a lot of fruits, vegetables, and majority of my meals are plant-based. Like I'll eat some fish every once in a while, eat some chicken every once in a while. I don't at this point I don't really eat much red meat. It'll have an IBS, it messes with my stomach. So I will eat meat every once in a while, but I highly recommend with your running plan to really start pouring in those vegetables, those fruits, those rice with beans. That makes a complete protein. Getting that quinoa in. Avocados are awesome sources of fat, and this is something I learned the other week. Avocados are actually 75% water, so you're also getting a lot of hydration with avocados, and so stuff like that. And this is, I'll be hitting this more tomorrow, but I wanted to at least add this in there in here so you guys start thinking about this and whatnot. So yeah, so love you guys. Thanks for coming on day 4. If you have any questions, feedback, post them below. If you're on Team Replay, say Team Replay. Can't wait to hear your guys' thoughts and your plans. Also push your plans below. I want us to start just sharing the plan so we get ideas and everything from each other. And let's make it a great Thursday, and just look forward to seeing you guys tomorrow. I'll be coming on tomorrow again, 9:30 Central, 7:30 Pacific, 10:30 Eastern. And if you guys have any specific questions, you can always send me a private message. But I definitely want this to make this group just interactive and everything. All right, take care, guys.